And now, for my favorite album of all time. I'm like kind of disappointed that I made this my favorite album, but also it makes a lot of sense because welcome back to For the Record, episode 3. Today we're gonna be talking about my top 10 favorite records of all time.
Albums still matter.
Like books and Black lives, they still matter. That's Prince. So I thought, since we all have the time, that I would reflect and really think about what are my favorite albums of all time. This was a really difficult list to put together. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I started off with a list of like 60 something albums, and then I cut it down to like 40. And then from then on, I just felt like I was killing off my children. So this was challenging for me because I'm just really emotionally attached to a lot of albums. It was really hard, but I got it down to 10, and I'm not even sure if the number 1 on my list is really my number 1, but these 10 are pretty much my number 1s. So here we go with number 10. Number 10, Ella Funk by the Black Eyed Peas. I remember that this was the first album that I would shake my booty to. I listened to Hey Mama, and this girl in my class, her name was Kenya. She was the new girl, and she taught us all how to booty dance. Oh my God, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I have really good memories with that album. My favorite song on Ella Funk, as you might have noticed, is Hey Mama, because of obvious reasons. And yeah, for that reason and the nostalgia in my heart, it is number 10 on my list. Moving on. Number 9 is The Carter 3 by Lil Wayne. Wow, what an amazing album. The Carter 3 was definitely the album that got me to start listening to rap and hip hop. Before that, I would honestly only listen to pop and like oldies that my parents would put on. And I remember my excitement when I first heard this album, when I heard A Milli on the radio, and when I heard my favorite song on the album, Let the Beat Build. Man, I remember like everybody had the line, suck my dick with red lipstick and don't let it smear, on their Facebook wall thing. Good times, good times. Number 8 is Auntie by Rihanna. What an amazing album from beginning to end. The album in its entirety was part of my Summer 16 playlist with Andrea. Shout out Andrea, we had a really great summer. Maybe we'll talk about it later. And my favorite song on that album is Sex With Me. Oof! I just like imagine floating on a pool with a vodka soda in my hand, loving life with my favorite pair of sunglasses on. Those were better times. Hashtag Rona. Number 7 is a classic to me. It's Baby One More Time, Britney Spears' debut album. I used to have that album on repeat. My friend Sivas and I used to go to this art camp, and literally he and I would sing the songs from the album every single day. It was our thing, and to this day it still brings back a lot of fond memories for me, so I love that album. Plus, it's what started it all for Britney Spears, the icon of our generation, so respeta. Number 6 is kind of a recent one. It's Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator. When I first heard this album, I was really impressed. I remember going to one of Tyler's first concerts in Miami at the Fillmore, and to be honest with you, it was a complete and total shit show. I never thought that he could come up with something as sophisticated and intricate and beautiful as Flower Boy. That has really become one of those albums that I can listen to from front to back and on repeat, because it's just so beautiful how it mixes elements of classical music with hip hop, with indie and R&B. It's just a masterpiece. And I hate to love singles, but my favorite song on that album is See You Again featuring Kali Uchis. It's a wonderful song. I enjoy singing it very much. And my B-side favorite is Who That Boy, which I'm not even sure if it is a B-side favorite. Or Boredom. Oh my God, I love Boredom. That is, I think, genius songwriting, because he goes, find some time to do something. Find some time to do something. I love that song. Number 5 on the list is Donde Están los Ladrones by Shakira. I absolutely love this album because I remember that my mom had the tape, the tape con la cinta with the 2 holes that like you put a pencil through to fast forward or rewind, that thing. My mom had a tape of Donde Están los Ladrones, and it really, really grabbed my attention from a young age because of the horns in Ciega Sorda Muda. Those horns sound like her voice. Like, if her voice could be instrumentalized, it would be those horns. And Ciega Sorda Muda is that song that just like hits you in the face when you first listen to the album, and it stays on your mind throughout the whole entire journey. But now that I'm a little bit older, I really, really love the song Sombra de Ti. It just feels like melting beach, amazing sex guitar waves, and you really do get like the imagery of the sombra, the shadow, and it's just beautiful, man. I love Shakira. Number 4 is Trilogy by The Weeknd. This album reminds me of a time in my life where I just did a 180 on my taste in music. I really started loving him, Lana Del Rey, Beach House, and a bunch of other indie artists. And I realized that I didn't want to be a pop singer anymore. I really wanted to do indie. And so this album really, really helped me figure out what it is that I even wanted as an artist because of how deeply it touched me, really. I love Trilogy. It's really, really engraved in my heart, especially the first 2 parts. And my favorite song on that album is Lonely Star. Yes, all I can say is yes. Promise me you won't regret me like the tattoo on your skin. And how he says, baby, you could have it all. Baby, you could be a star. Oof, oof. Okay, now we're down to the top 3, and this is where it gets really hairy for me. Number 3, I hate to say it, but it had to be number 3 because like, it's so a number 1, but it's number 3 in this list. Ultraviolence by Lana Del Rey. A lot of people love her first album, Born to Die, and obviously that's the album that hooked me and made me a forever fan as well. But there's 2 songs I don't like on Born to Die, and that's Carmen and Summertime Sadness. I don't know why, I just never liked them. But Ultraviolence is incredible from beginning to end. My favorite song on the album, like by obligation, is Shades of Cool, but I also really love Florida Kilos because it's just like kind of a happy vibe for her type of music. So I thought it was really refreshing and just like really funny that she like croons, yeah, yo, yeah, yo, yeah, yo, and all my girls say, epic song. Number 2, Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. This album blew my mind the first time I heard it. I think that my friend Roberto showed me this album and we played it in the car and I was just like blown away. I didn't even know that music like this existed. I had never heard psychedelic music until I heard Dark Side of the Moon, and it was really, really eye-opening, an amazing experience, and I'll never forget it. My favorite song on the album is Great Gig in the Sky because just those are the craziest vocals I have ever heard in a song. I've tried singing it many times, but yeah, that song is just like an entire journey in and of itself because of the vocals, and oof, it's just so beautiful. I always imagine like pink energy and like clouds and lasers when I listen to that song. And now, for my favorite album of all time. I'm like kind of disappointed that I made this my favorite album, but also it makes a lot of sense because I've listened to this album so many times subconsciously on repeat that it completely makes sense why it's my favorite album. And that is, drum roll please, Blonde by Frank Ocean. It's a great album. It just is. From the beginning of that song, Nike, and when you hear his like super high-pitched voice and then solo, and oh my God, Pink and White. Who the fuck has Beyonce as their background vocalist? Explain that to me. This is, for me, my favorite album of all time. I loved Blonde. And I'm looking forward to see what Frank Ocean puts out next because he teased us with Chanel a little while back. He also came out with a new song in November called In My Room, so I'm hoping that that means that an album is gonna come out soon, but we never know with Frank Ocean. He left us waiting in the dust after Channel Orange, so I'm just like not gonna expect anything. But there you have it. Those are my top 10 favorite albums of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like. And if you're new to this channel or have just happened to stumble upon my beautiful face, click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you know every single time I'm gonna post, which is a lot. And God knows that you need that content right now for the Rona, because everybody is running out of content. Literally, like my boyfriend called me the other day and he told me he's running out of content to watch. So I'll see you later. Ta-ta for now. Bye.